Good morning, everybody. This is Cheryl Echeverria of Echeverria Travel, and this is Sundays with Cheryl. Welcome, welcome, welcome. This is a special once a week event. I do also talk travel with Cheryl during the week on the latest and greatest news, and some of the news from here will also be moved during the week because there's a lot of news to get to today and events, and we hope you're enjoying your week and your weekend. And just a little housekeeping, please click the subscribe button below. Comments are turned off. You can comment on this video anywhere it's showed on social media. I'm also on Nextdoor. I have it up on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram. Instagram doesn't allow you yet to put URLs down, but both my business page, Echeverria Travel, also on my personal Facebook, and it's also a link up on echeveriatravel.com for our YouTube channel. So follow us, subscribe, tell your friends and family. Best way to reach me is Cheryl Echeverria, and that's 631-456-5394, reservations at Echeverria Travel. Please give us 24 hours to get back to you if I'm not answering the phone or replying right away. Also, you can reach us via Messenger on both Instagram and Facebook, text messaging. We do live phone calls as well as Zoom calls. So no matter where you are in the USA, we can service you, and that's the best way to do it. No, I am not a brick and mortar travel agency, so no, you cannot come to me. If you're local, maybe we can meet somewhere for coffee, but 90% of travel agents now, or like myself, we are not online booking agents. We're actually travel agents that work our butts off to bring you the best in travel and safety and get rid of the myths and cobwebs and all that. So anyway, beautiful day here in Florida. The heat is finally coming down a little bit. We're really starting to have some really nice beginning of fall weather. I mean, that's funny for Florida. Last year we did get that to the 40s and 50s, a little in the 30s, but we have my happy point is in the 70s, 80s, enough to swim, but not enough where I can't walk around and, can't breathe when I'm outside. So my weather is getting back to me. Anyway, today on Sundays with Cheryl, I have two topics we'll be talking about. The first one is going to be 10 ways you get banned for life from a cruise ship. And you're spending a lot of money on travel, and this doesn't necessarily have to do with it's a cruise ship. This is the airline. This is an all-inclusive resort. This could be a destination that you paid your hard money to spend to visit, and because these things are happening, will get you banned for life, and not only on this cruise line, but or destination, but it will follow you. So don't think it won't, but it will. The other one is for you Disney fans, and I'm one of the biggest Disney fans out there, especially for adult travelers to Disney. I think it's the most romantic place. I think it's a great place for not just the theme parks and rides, but people watching, animal watching, some of the greatest food in the world, from Disney Springs, which is open to everybody without a ticket, which is their shopping area, to the golf, to the spas, to so much more. You'll learn all about all the Disney destinations here as well, not just here at Orlando, but Disneyland, and also the 4 other theme parks across the world. So, and cruise line, and Lonnie in Hawaii, and the Disney, as I mentioned, the Disney cruise lines. So without further ado, let's get going, and please leave comments If you'd like for us to have other topics of conversation, please email me. We'd love to hear from you as to what you want to know about traveling and about a destination, because we do worldwide destinations, and not just Disney and cruise lines, but everything from the United States, which is our most beautiful country in the world, to the 7 continents across the world. So anyway, like I said, top 10 things that will ban you for life from a cruise ship. Number 1, bringing illegal substances on board. Let's just remember, not only is it illegal here, but it's also illegal internationally. Remember, when you're stepping on a cruise ship, as soon as you go from that pier onto the ship, you're technically in international waters, whether you left the dock or not. Water is water, it's international, and the cruise ships are actually not US soil. There's only one cruise out there that is flagged for the United States, and that's in Hawaii, and that's part of America from Norwegian Cruise Lines. And if you ever want to go on a 7-day cruise around the Hawaiian Islands, it's all about the destination, never mind the ship and the beaches and stuff, but it's all about the destinations. And yes, Maui is open. Certain parts of it is open. They're looking for tourists. They're looking for support. So let's not forget Hawaii, one of our own states. People are going to the Caribbean. Yes, I always say St. Lucia is the Hawaii of the Caribbean, but Hawaii itself is one of our most beautiful states out there, and let's support her. Anyway, any kind of drug out there or alcohol that is illegal, you cannot bring aboard. If you don't check it, if you don't let people know, believe me, I don't do drugs, but recently a lot of people are getting stopped at the port because they have those gummy bears with the CBD oil in it. You're not allowed to bring it. Even if you're traveling through Europe and you're taking a cruise, certain countries you cannot export that alcohol from. You may have to ship it home, whatever, but no drugs. That will get you banned and arrested for life. Number 2, fighting and engaging in other destructive behavior. That should be a big duh and no. If you've seen it on the flights where people are fighting with flight attendants, or fighting on cruise ships, or fighting at Walt Disney World on lines because it's too hot and people are just getting annoyed with each other, guess what? You're going to be banned. Not only will you be arrested, but you're going to be banned for life. On airlines, it's a federal law, and not only, I mean, there's too many people out there acting silly. I'm not going to say stupid, because somebody's going to come back to me and say, you're stupid, you're this, you're that, you're ugly, whatever. Somebody's going to say something. And remember, no bullying allowed here on Echeverria Travel. That's another reason I stopped the comments, because I don't care what you look like. I love everybody. Don't pick on me. I'm different. I'm me. I'm myself. You're going to bully me, go back to 2nd grade, okay? Don't do it to me. Skipping the muster drill. I don't care if you've been on 30 ships. They go through the attendance sheet. They have ways of checking now whether or not you have taken the muster drill. Yes, during the days of COVID and the early return cruise lines, you could do it in your cabin and just register. You saw it on TV. And they're back to doing the regular muster drill. You must attend them. If not, you can be banned. It's a law, maritime law, that you must do it. All cruise lines do it, and you must attend and do it. You spent thousands of dollars to do a cruise. Please partake and do what you must, because it only takes 10 to 20 minutes, and then you're done. Stealing or damaging property, that's another duh. Previous, if it's not yours, don't take it, don't touch it, don't steal it. You'll be put yes, they have jails on the ships. They'll put you there to the next port of call. You'll have to fly home. Again, it could be not only a federal offense, it's against that country. Remember, you're not a US citizen once you leave the land here, and you must abide by all laws of that country and destination. That is not to me to let you know. If you request it, I will get you the information, but that information is up to you, the traveler, to know these things, including if you've been arrested in the past or been in jail in the past or a sex offender or anything like that, you must check with your parole officer to see if you can travel. If you have anything on record that's questionable, you will not be able to get a passport. You will not be able to travel. And don't talk to me about, oh, I don't need a passport to go to the Bahamas or the Caribbean because of the closed drop, cruise, loop. Guess what? You're leaving the United States, and if anything happens to you, you need a passport to get back to the United States. That's all I'm saying. I will ask you for your passport. If you don't have one, I don't want to know about it. Don't blame me if you get into an issue where you did not have a passport with you, okay? That's all I'm saying. Smoking in non-designated areas. This is so true on a cruise ship. It can cause a fire. Nothing that is, even when they cook on the ship, you're not allowed to use gas, nothing like that on a cruise ship, okay? If you caught smoking in your room, you could pay up to, starting at a $200 fine to clean the room. You were warned, it's indicated in your cruise contract, there might be areas of the ship that you can cruise and smoke, but not in the restaurants, not on the main pool deck. There might be one or two places you can do. And please, no throwing of your cigarettes off the ship. That is littering, and again, that's maritime law, and that could get you banned from that cruise line of cruising in general. Climbing on or sitting on the railings. This is another doc. Whether you've heard a lot of people falling overboard on the ship. Guess how these things happen? Whether it's on a balcony in your room or on a railing on the pool, on the decks of the ship, it's a big no-no. You could be arrested, you could be fined before you even fall in the ship. But I have seen it myself where people, especially young people, I'm not going to say kiddies because the kids aren't doing it. It's the people that have been drinking too much and think it's great to do this. Those balconies are there to protect all of us from falling overboard and having a beautiful view of your cruise. So remember, that's not allowed. Let's see. Yes, and I have my notes here. Using drones or unauthorized devices on ships. Well, this is becoming a little less, not so much of being banned, but no, you're not allowed to have them on your cruise ship. If you're bringing it to the destination that you're visiting, first of all, make sure you could use it on the excursion or the destination you're going to. Many places, I mean, you don't want a drone flying around in your backyard, right? You don't want people taking of your personal, but there, yeah, you want to use the drone, you could take it with you, keep it in your room. Some cruise lines will hold it if they find it in your luggage and hold it until that port of call for you. So they don't want you using it. It will distract emergencies and all that. So no drones or other things like that. Number 9, throwing things overboard into the ocean. This is a big, big no-no. Whether or not you know, cruise lines have stopped using or will stop using bottles for the water. Many people love bringing bottled water because they don't want to pay for it. on the cruise ship, so guess what? You won't be able to bring bottled water anymore on board. You have to use the bottles there, or you could just bring your thermoses with you, or your own water bottles. Not the ones you throw away, but the ones that you fill, like with juice and smoothies and stuff like that. There's fresh water on the ship. The water is filtered. Hey, I live in Florida. I have the worst tasting tap water there is. I'm also from New York, which I love the water there is. So I always buy bottled water here, but when I'm on a cruise ship, I love the water on the cruise ship. I will drink the tap. I drink, something with me, but anything being thrown overboard is against the law, maritime law, ocean law, you name it. It's a big no-no. It also pollutes our oceans, especially plastics. There are big, big issues that are getting into our fish, and the fish eat it, and those fishes come into our body streams, and it's a good thing. And finally, number 10, this is not necessarily a ban, but it's more of an FYI, medical emergencies. Now, with this, yes, cruise ships have medical facilities, but they don't have airlifting. So what will happen is, and I strongly recommend you get travel insurance, whether or not you have a pre-existing condition or not. I don't care how old you are. I don't care. Oh, I never get sick. I never fall down. Never. There's too many things going on in the news recently where somebody's had a heart attack, somebody broke their leg, a kid was running around and fell down and broke their leg. Once you're out of the United States, your insurance is not going to cover emergencies like that. It might, but travel insurance, especially medical, especially if you pre-existing conditions, are not going to be covered. Airlifting is about $20,000 to $30,000 to get that covered. If you wind up in a hospital seeing somebody medical outside the United States, they will not even look at you unless you have something that will cover the expenses of it. So having that travel insurance will help you with that. So again, that's not a ban, but it's an FYI, a very strong FYI, because I've had clients that have gotten hurt or gotten sick, and thank God they had the travel insurance. I even had clients a couple of years ago, family that I had sent to an all-inclusive resort in Mexico. They were there 2 days, and the father's mother passed away. And they had to come home, and the travel insurance covered all of them on the air to get them home again, and they got the rest of the money back from their trip, because they had from 7 days, they went only down to 2 days, and they got most of their travel money back. But these are things that you never think of that you need to think of when traveling. Okay, so during the week, I will come to you with traveling to different countries and what you need to know about respect, and what you should do, what you shouldn't do, what you should pack for your trip, what you don't need to pack for your trip, and so much more. Okay, let's move on to the nitty-gritty of what I was talking about, of the D23 convention. That if you don't know what D23 is, if you are a Disney fan, there's something called D23. And it's the official fan club of Disney, of everything Disney, from the theme parks and cruise lines to Hawaii to Adventures by Disney, which is their tour company, and so much more. So every year they have a convention. Mostly they've been in Anaheim, California, over Disneyland, but this year was at the Contemporary Resort at Walt Disney World. It's still going on. Unfortunately, I couldn't go because it sold out in 24 hours. And if you want more information on D23, please ask at your area travel, and we'll be glad to tell you more about it. But anyway, what came out of that is all the new things that are coming to Disneyland, Disney World, and the 4 other theme parks and the cruise line. And I'm just going to highlight Disneyland, Disney World. During the week, I'll be talking about Disneyland Paris, Shanghai, Hong Kong, and Tokyo. Okay, so stay tuned for that. So anyway, over at Disneyland, we really don't offer it that much because we don't have too many clients on the East Coast that are going to California that want to go to Disneyland, but we do offer it. They do have 2 theme parks over there. I'll go into that during the week, but Disneyland, which was the original one, opened in the 1950s, that Walt Disney himself opened. He had passed away when Walt Disney World in 1971 opened here in Florida. But anyway, first of all, they're reopening Mickey's Toontown. And if you're not sure what that is, Toontown is mostly for the little ones. I'm going to say anywhere from like newborns to 4, 5, 6 years old. They have little rides that they could explore on and have meet and greets with Mickey and Minnie, Donald, and Pluto. And that's reopening over in Disneyland. Also updates on Marvel Multiverse Saga. I am not into Marvel, but I know a lot of you out there are. It's still in the air due to the actors' strike going on. And if you're not sure, the actors' strike it's been going on since May. As writers and actors out on strike to get better pay, and especially with AI, they don't want their images used without proper compensation. So that's going on over there. I'm not involved with that, but I'm just letting you know. And they'll have a new attraction which will feature a multi-world initiative. Where is it now? It's going to be a ride combines elements of Tony Stark's time suits with a Zetadarian jump point and some really great technology. If you are not familiar with D23 Imagineers, you're missing out. That's one of the reasons Disney is so expensive, because they have a detailed imaginary mind that, I mean, you wouldn't believe some of the things you can see and do at a Disney theme park. And I'll go into that update at a later time. Over at Walt Disney World, right now there's no updates at Hollywood Studios for this year, but there are updates at all 3, Magic Kingdom, Epcot, and my favorite, if you didn't know by now, I love animals, and Animal Kingdom is one of my favorite parks. I would rather bypass Hollywood Studios. I like the original Star Wars movies, but I never really got into the newer ones. But I've been on the rides over at Hollywood Studios, and it's okay. I liked it better when they had the fireworks and other things over there going on, and I still like Fantasmic and all that, but that's about it. Over at Magic Kingdom, it was announced a new Blue Sky project, and that's gonna, if you're familiar with hold on. Sorry, a brain fart. With Thunder Mountain, you got Splash Mountain and got Thunder Mountain, and it's the roller coaster in Frontierland that looks like a train, but it's a high-speed roller coaster. And right behind there, there's so much land that they're going to be doing this project that's called Beyond Thunder Mountain. It's going to be expansive, just like they did over at Avatar, over at Animal Kingdom, as well as Star Wars Galaxy Edge. So it's going to be a huge immersive expansion, the largest at Magic Kingdom ever. And that theme parks next to, like I said, Animal Kingdom and also Hollywood Studios. It's in the works for this. Stay tuned. They're just starting on this. I don't expect this to be up until 2025 or later, but it should be a wonderful experience. It will have rides, attractions, entertainment, and more. Speaking of entertainment and shows, over in Frontierland, since Walt Disney World opened, there is a really cute, I call it cheeky show called the Country Bear Jamboree. Go in there and they're like hillbilly bears, animatronics that sing songs, tell jokes, and so much more. Their animatronics have been updated and they have new songs that they'll be singing. It's a sing-along, so you really have a nice place to go when it gets too hot or you just want to rest your feet over at Walt Disney World, and you'll really enjoy that. If you're a Haunted Mansion fan, which enough and I are, it's one of the first rides we go to when we get there. Yes, it's accessible with wheelchairs and scooters to get on and off. And it's a very popular ride. If you're going to wait and go on this ride, please don't, because the lines could take up to 90 minutes to 3 hours, depending on time of day. Go by the rope drop. That's when the park officially opens, and get on that ride, because if you don't, you're going to miss out, and you might be there for hours and hours and hours. Anyway, when the ride first opened in 1971, there was a ghost called the Hatbox Ghost. Anybody that remembers that or knows about the history of the ride, the Hatbox Ghost went on a long hiatus, and he will be returning to the attic in October, just in time for Halloween. So stay tuned for that. Also, with the Pirates of the Caribbean, they're opening a brand new bar themed after the movie, so please head on over there. Our next stop is Epcot. And Epcot, if you've been to the theme parks recently, you know, walls have been going on, construction, so much more. So a lot of that came down, a lot of that is open. Figment is finally back, and if you don't know who Figment is the mascot of the World of Imagination Pavilion, and he's going to have his own meet and greet. So Figment is now back, yay! Also, Journey of Water, inspired by Moana, that is opening October 16th. When you walk into Epcot from the main entrance and you go past the globe, there used to be fountains and stuff there. Now it's beautiful. If you've never seen the movie Moana, please do. It's a Polynesian looking area, which is all focused on water, jumping waters and interactive. It's not just for the kids, it's for everybody involved. Let's see. Also, yes, a brand new nighttime show. If you're familiar with Walt Disney World or Disneyland, they have fireworks shows every night at the Magic Kingdom. They also have them at Epcot. Epcot has it over the water. They have laser lights, water, beautiful sound, beautiful fireworks. It's going to be called Luminous, the Symphony of Us, and that will be opening December 3rd, just in time for the holidays. And that usually starts around 9 o'clock in the evening when it gets all dark, and it goes all around. If you ever go to World Showcase, it just goes in a big circle like the globe, and everywhere along the the waterfront, you can see the show. Over at Test Track, which is sponsored by Chevrolet ever since it opened, you actually ride in a Test Track car and you go around, and it's a lot of heat and water and experience. I say it's a roller coaster without the dips and drops, which I like. They're having new updates on that to show new and improved car performances and more. So that's being updated. Finally, the last selection of the park has been revamped. Is World Celebration will reopen in December 2023, including Dreamers Point. And World Celebration will unite the front of the park, tying together the other two new Epcot neighborhoods, World Discovery and World of Nature. And it will be the latest major milestone in this transformation of Epcot. So if you haven't been to Epcot in years, you'll be surprised or disappointed. I will be pleasantly surprised because Disney himself always said Disney is not supposed to be stagnant. It's supposed to change and go along with the times and different imaginations. So this is what is coming out of it. And also, funnily, over at Animal Kingdom, one of my favorite parks. Like I said, I love animals. I love different countries. I love food. Also, the world of Avatar is over there. The first Zootopia is coming to the park. If you haven't seen Zootopia, again, another great movie to watch about animals, but it's animated, really, really great. But it's not going to be a land. It is going to be a new show in the Tree of Life. And if you see my pictures of Disney, it's a big tree, and that tree is actually carved with different animals from around the world, and at night it glows, and you can see kangaroos jumping around and different animals in front of it. So this will be likely replacing Life of Bugs. So if you love Life of Bugs, this show will be replacing it. Also, Dino Land. Unfortunately, there are people out there who love Dino Land, but this will also be revamped. It's just started talking about it at the D23 summit. It will be a new park, because right now inside Animal Kingdom, they reflect on sections of Africa and Asia. But this will be the tropical Americas, which will focus in on Central and South America. And it was hinted that Encanto and Indiana Jones could find homes here. So stay tuned to Echeverria Travel for the latest and greatest reveals at Walt Disney World and not the other theme parks. 3 new cruise lines are coming out from Disney. One you heard about this past week, which is Disney Treasure, which starting tomorrow, December 11th, will be taking reservations for December 2024 sailings out of Port Canaveral, 7 days, alternating Eastern and Western Caribbean. It was also announced that the Disney Adventure, no release date of when this ship will be coming out, but will be sailing from Singapore and doing the Asian market, which can be Japan, Vietnam, and so many other wonderful destinations. If I ever get well enough to go there, because I'm on dialysis in certain destinations I cannot travel to, but one of the destinations that I want to go to is Vietnam. Even though, yes, we were in war over there, it's still a beautiful country, and go to Japan as well. The third ship has not been announced, but stay tuned for that. Okay, and finally, I will be coming to you with updates from Walt Disney World and the 4 other theme parks during the week, plus more news. We want to hear from you. We want to hear your comments and more. Please subscribe, hit the subscribe button. We appreciate you spending Sundays with Cheryl. Remember 631-456-5394, reservations at echeveriatravel.com. And we service all clients, especially those of us with special needs, disabilities. As long as you're healthy enough to travel, we can help you get there. Don't let your disability control you. Reach out and break through and enjoy your life and see the world, because it's a beautiful place to see and do. Take care. Bye-bye.